It's a good thing I'm not doing the panic index today, isn't it? If you're a Montreal fan and you think, hey, is now the perfect time to panic? Yep. Yep, you're there. This was alarming, and what's alarming is it's a trend now. We can't just say it's a one-off. We can't just say, it's a couple of bad games. It's officially a trend. And it is a trend occurring while Carey Price is the goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens. Now, you can tell the fans are really pulling for Carey Price to get out of this funk. And he will, you would think. But, I'm looking at it, and I looked at his bio. He is 32 years of age. And we may very well be looking at a Carey Price who's a good goaltender, not necessarily a great goaltender. And maybe we are seeing a Carey Price whose best days are done. And maybe I'm at that point of the year again where I need to do a Carey Price video. I'm pretty sure I've done a Carey Price video once a year, where we've talked about, is this it for Carey Price? Well, Carey Price is on it. Is this it? And maybe we're at that point again where we need to look at the numbers and ask some hard questions. Now, Cousins tripped Blackwood, which looked painful. Blackwood, it looked like landed on the back of his head. That was early in the game. He was okay, though. The shots were 6-2 Habs at only 3 minutes into that period. So Montreal came out pretty heavy, and that's what you want to do at home. The Devils got the first power play. They didn't score on it. However, after that, Coleman scored from Gusev and Zajac at 7:19. Gusev had a pretty good game overall tonight. Gallagher, however, would answer from Dano and Tatar at 7:41. And then seconds after that, Zajac scores from Gusev and Coleman at 8:17. So, in the period of 58 seconds, 3 goals are scored in this game, which was surprising, and it's 2-1 for New Jersey. Now, New Jersey's a team that has a hard time scoring goals. Tonight, they didn't. The Devils got another power play. They wouldn't score on that. The Habs breakaway failed. Fans wanted a penalty shot on that one, or at least a penalty. Or they were just upset that one was a failed opportunity. Habs fans are very vocal about how they feel about every single play. There's a power play with 26.2 seconds left in the period for the Habs. That would roll over into the second period. And power play goal for Kotkaniemi. I'm not sure why the app was telling me they were 0 for 2, because I know I watched it. That was a power play goal for Kotkaniemi at 140. No, that shouldn't have been, because 26.2 carry the. All right. Technically, I don't think that shouldn't count as a power play goal. And since it's just the one game, we're just hanging out, talking about what happened in tonight's game. So let's see. I don't think that's a power play goal after all. I marked it down as a power play goal. Yeah, no, power play had actually ended. App's right. It just felt like a power play goal because the penalty had just ended for New Jersey. So I put up power play goal. Yeah, I jumped the gun on that. And I thought that was the best goal he's scored this year. It was the first he scored since October 9th. It's only the third he scored all year. But I thought that was Kotkaniemi's best goal so far this season. And hopefully he gets things going. But after that goal scored at 140, Wood would score from Zaka and Butcher at 3:16. So it wasn't tied for long. Turnovers and odd man rushes were just killing Montreal. So while it's easy to look at the shots, which were not very high for New Jersey, and say, wow, Price is having a brutal night. These were 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, fast breaks. Just brutal. And the Habs did push to answer after that one. Sherratt took a puck that appeared to hit him in the jaw. Now, you could see after there was a black mark on his jersey here from where the puck struck. May very well have hit the side of his helmet. He did need a new helmet. He may have been very, very fortunate there that it didn't hit him directly in the face. So, scary moment, but he stays in the game. Armia would then score from Mete at 9:02. Victor Mete on the board. Probably my favorite Hab. And so we're tied, but we're not tied for long. Boquist scores from Heischer and Palmieri at 11:28. And unlike the first goal he had the other night, this one, there's no controversy around it at all. So Boquist with goals in back-to-back games. And you get the feeling he's picking it up. So they're ahead again. And no matter what Montreal did, New Jersey ended up ahead. They were ahead 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, 4-3. And I put up here, defense is optional for both teams. I didn't think either team played well defensively tonight. It shows in the amount of shots that New Jersey allowed, which was too high, and in the amount of odd man rushes against Montreal, which was way too high. The Habs got a late power play. They wouldn't score on that one. Last minute, Lehkonen was denied by Blackwood. Again, just making sure, saying, whatever, I'm done with you. I don't need you anymore. You can go ahead and fall on the floor all you want. I don't care. Wife will pick you up. I'm just kidding. I will. I promise. I better pick that up. Because there's somebody somewhere that's going to go, he's right. He's not going to lie about that. Anyways, Lehkonen denied by Blackwood. Price then denied the combination of Coleman-Palmieri. Really nice pass by Coleman to Palmieri with 8 seconds left. And this is when the Price chants started of Carey from the crowd. They wanted to spur Carey Price to a great moment. And so we go into the third. Hall was stopped by Price. 3 good stops in a row by Carey Price to start that period. So he didn't give up. Armia was hit by a puck. Play was blown down immediately. And now we're going to have this discussion. The puck was not turned over on that play. This was one of those ones where immediately plays whistled down. After what happened to Matt Calvert, has the NHL told officials, as soon as a guy gets hit in the face with a puck, you blow the whistle. Just get it done. We'll see. But in that case, it was one where they would probably have let it go. Tonight, they didn't. Blackwood held off the Habs at around the 7-minute mark. They were really close, and Blackwood played really, really well. Doesn't get into the 3 stars, but he had a very good game. And then Severson scored from Gusev and Coleman at 8:21, and this was brutal. This was, again, notice, it's 8:21, and at 7 minutes, Montreal's buzzing around Blackwood. Can't get the puck in the net. This was another fast break. Nice play by Gusev. It's his 3rd helper of the night. He really did. He had a very good game. And hopefully he gets ice time out of this. But it was frustrating. Severson gets that goal, and you get the feeling that either Price is mad at the defense in front of him or he's mad at himself. Now, knowing Price for as long as we have, odds are he's mad at himself. That puck probably shouldn't have gone in. Maybe he felt he played it wrong. Or he's just frustrated because this keeps happening game after game after game. He smashed his stick over the net, and then he cracked it over his knee as well. It didn't break, but it was already broken. In other words, there was a hairline crack or something cracked with it. Or he was just like, you know what, I've just smashed this stick 3 or 4 times. I'm going to go get another one. He goes to the bench, gets another one. And that is very unlike Carey Price to be that animated and that angry. And so Lehkonen scored from Riley and Petrie 16 seconds later at 8:37. Makes it a 1-goal deficit. And got the Montreal crowd back into it. And they really wanted Carey Price to bounce back and get into this. And come on, Carey, you can do this. However, the Devils got a power play with 4 minutes left. And that really takes the air out of it. Because then you're spending 2 minutes killing off a penalty. So now you're down to 2 minutes. So with 1:45 left, they do pull Price. But at 18:44, Coleman hits the empty net from Zajac and Simmons. And if you want to see a miserable bench in the NHL, just go look at footage of how that bench in Montreal looked after this game. This is one miserable team that has now lost, it's up to 6 in a row? This is a miserable team that is looking for answers right now, and I wonder what they're going to do. Because do you make a trade? Do you make a move behind the bench? Every Canadian team apparently is going to either fire or suspend or something with their coach. Every Canadian team, coaches are going to go. Edmonton, of course, is not one that has to worry about that because they fired their coach during the offseason last year. So, well, he left. But either way, they got Tippett, so they're not going to fire their coach. But look out, Paul Maurice. So we're in this weird zone where New Jersey goes in and beats Montreal 6-4. This was a much more humiliating defeat for Montreal than the last one. The last game, they lost in overtime 4-3, and it was one of those plays where, Danault needs the puck into the net. If he doesn't do that, if they find some other way to get a goal there, they win the game. Who knows what we're talking about. And the interesting thing is they were pointing out at the start of the game, Montreal has the exact same record they had last year at this time, and they lost the game in this part of the schedule last year as well. So they are following down the exact same path. Now, if you remember last year for Montreal, they had a very good finish. The problem was this start to the season killed their chances of making the playoffs. Made it so difficult for them to claw their way back in. And you get the feeling that You know, tonight they could have knocked Toronto back out. They didn't. They could have put space between themselves and Tampa. They didn't do that either. They could have made up some ground on Florida. Didn't do that either. It's a tough loss. Your 3 stars, Nikita Gusev, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and Travis Zajac. Blackwood saves 44 out of 48. Price saves 29 out of 34. Power plays New Jersey goes 0 for 3. Montreal 0 for 2. The shots 18-11 Montreal in the first, 17-11 Montreal in the second. Both teams had 13 shots in the third. Your final shots are 48-35. And there were a lot of questions left to be answered now for Montreal. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below as always. And even though it's just one game, this review is much, much longer because this is what happens when I only watch one game. It is much easier for me to take more notes and really get a feel for how the entire game was. And this one's really, really noteworthy in that this is an extended cold period for Montreal, and you get the feeling this might be bottom. Who knows? They play again on Saturday. We'll see. They don't play tomorrow, so they've got a day off. I'm pretty sure they play on Saturday. There's 13 games on Saturday. I'm pretty sure both New Jersey and Montreal play on Saturday. And since it's a Hockey Night in Canada day, yeah, Montreal plays on Saturday. Let me just go take a look here. Again, since it's just the one game, the Devils are at home against the Rangers. The Canadiens' next game is at home against the Flyers, and that's an afternoon game. So we'll see how that goes for them. Let me know what you guys thought if you watched this game. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support, and for those who came out for the live stream tonight. That was fun as well. I will talk to you again soon.